all right. What it is, what it is. I'm your main man, Mikey D, aka Stony Mike, and I'm here to give you a nice little Stony playthrough. But before we get into Atomic Heart, because that's been the game that I've been playing here lately, I think I'm gonna come to an end with that here soon. Because I've mentioned before, I have a love-hate relationship with it. It's very annoying. Uh, but before we get into that nice Stony little playthrough, I have a question, and it's been on my mind for quite some time. Who is better at being a human, a liberal or a conservative? Now, I'm not talking about people like wild cards like myself who have liberal and conservative tendencies. Keep in mind, I'm not talking about you wonderful souls. I am talking about people who are too far into one side of the page or too far into the other side of the page to even understand that there is a middle part of the page. To put it so dumbly. Like that was the most dumb fucking way I've ever put it. Anyway. So let us get nice and stony. I got me a bowl loaded right now. I'm gonna smoke me a bowl. And then we're gonna get into this. We're gonna start with Libs of TikTok, cringe compilation number 10. It's the first link in the OP video description. Be sure to check it out. Be sure to click on it, give them a like, and all that good stuff. Because everybody needs a good like. Give us all a good like. Give me a like. Give them a like. Give everybody a like. Give everybody needs a like. Anyway, let's get nice and fired up. Get stony, because you know damn well it is that time. It is that time, my friends. A day in the life of a childless woman. You know, if you have to post about these things, there's likely no joy coming from it. You seeking the joy from other people, giving you some form of admiration or confirmation that you're doing the right thing. Like, what else would you need to make a video about this? Is this Chelsea Handler? A woman who's prided herself on being a slut?
Day in the life of a childless woman. I wake up at 6 a.m. I remember that I have no kids to take to school, so I take an edible, masturbate, and go back to sleep. I wake up at 12.
Nobody, and I fucking mean nobody, on this goddamn earth, not even 50 Cent, and he hit it, wants to know about her fucking vibrating herself. Nobody. Nobody. Nobody.
30 p.m. and get ready for a busy day of doing whatever the I feel like. I put on my most impractical and stylish shoes since I won't.
I see nothing wrong with doing whatever the fuck you feel like. Like, if you have the ability to do whatever the fuck you feel like, go for it. But it's always fucking hilarious that these people right here, these types of people, liberals, they love to talk about the downtrodden, but then they turn around and make videos of them doing shit where, because they have the luxury, the privilege to do such a thing. In my neck of the woods, we call that a hypocrite. Practice what the fuck you preach, man. Like, these people are over here constantly talking about people, oh, the poor and the disability, they need this, they need that. Well, then why aren't you helping? Like, they all the time want to attack somebody like Elon. They don't really attack Jeff as much as they used to, because he's learned to not really speak his mind at all. But Elon speaks his mind, says something decent, gets attacked, but yet this bitch can say all this dumb shit, virtue signal all her shit. Let's do a quick little search here, cause I really want to know now. I ain't the only one, obviously, because it was the top search. Okay. So, according to two sources, Chelsea Handler has a net worth of $40 fucking million. She's pretty well off. She could create uh, a fucking do whatever you want foundation, right? Because she's very passionate about doing whatever the fuck she wants, you know? So maybe she should start a foundation. You know, all these stars love starting foundations anyway. Maybe she should start herself a fucking foundation where she can be the one who does all this helping of the downtrodden. I don't know. And the fact that they call her an American comedian is fucking hilarious. This bitch has never been funny. I've never seen her until like my here in the past like 5-6 years. I've started paying attention to who she is as a person. Like actually no, I take that back. It's been a lot longer. It's been around the time that 50 Cent and her was fucking around. Because as soon as everybody heard about that, I heard about it because I like 50 Cent. I think 50 Cent's fucking dope as fuck. I loved his music more than anything. Growing up, I listened to his music a lot. But can't say that I would share the same taste in women at all. I don't think I would fuck that with someone else's dick, to be honest with you. So the fact that somebody did is hilarious. It's hilarious to me, but it doesn't shock me in any shape or form that she's childless. No self-respecting man will ever be with this woman, like long term. Period.
Be chasing a child around the grocery store. I go to my fave spot in Paris to grab a croissant. I do a meditation sesh on the plane since I have no screaming kids, allowing me all the time in the world to become enlightened. The weightlessness of my existence has granted me superhuman powers.
Look at that forced smile that she's having to force to make. Like, no amount of cannabis in this world can make you fucking force a smile unless you're, like, literally forcing it yourself. Like, you having the mental ability to force that shit yourself. It's not like she's fucking stoned and fucking happy. No. This bitch right here ain't stoned and happy. This bitch is a fucking miserable ass cunt, and she's having a virtue signal not having a kid to make herself even feel even more better. Like, this is the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life.
I teleport myself back home. Then I get
Why don't you teleport yourself to fucking Mars so we don't have to deal with any of these dumb fucking ideologies that you fucking trying to spring up on people? You know what's bad is there's like a lot of young impressionable women who would look to this, think that she's a good role model, and will immediately go down the road of not wanting to have children whatsoever. It doesn't sound like a good thing for humanity, does it? No. See, unlike the right, and the conservative Christian types, I'm not coming at this in a place of like, oh, it's traditional righteousness. No, fuck that. No, I'm coming at this in a place of like, I want to protect my species, my race, humanity. Because that's what my race is. My race is humanity. I don't give a fuck about all these dumbasses and these people right here who want to fucking create uh, essentially a self-segregating fucking world that they want to create. One that I guess we just reproduce in fucking little vacuum sealed fucking departments or some shit. I don't know what the fuck they're wanting, but going this route is not cool in any way. I honestly don't think that she is a big threat to humanity, but I feel like this ideology in general is, and it's not a safe one to preach as she is, because she You know, some people might say, you know, oh, she's just telling in her life. Oh, she's just bragging about her life because that does seem like she's being a big old braggart right now. But that's actually not true. What she is doing, she is spreading her ideology. She's preaching it. This is a form of preaching ideology. And they love to get on TikTok to do that shit nowadays. I don't get it. I hope everybody, as a human being, is being a little bit smarter and looking at this through clear glass and not tainted and painted glass, if you will. Because if you're looking at her mentality through the wrong lenses, you're gonna see nothing but sunshine and rainbows. Okay, because it kind of like looks appealing, you know, not being able to do anything, getting to smoke weed, fucking jack off, vibrate, whatever the fuck it is that you'd have to do. That seems like a really good idea until you start practicing it, and then you're gonna see the long road to fucking unhappiness. She is a very unhappy person. You can tell. I feel sorry for her. But then again, I don't really feel sorry for her.
Get ready for a night out with whatever hot guy I met on Raya that morning.
See, that's what I'm saying. And she just a glorified slut. Like her slut powers are over 9,000.
It's over 9,000!
She is a slut. She's a slut. She's a shoot. Anyway, I'm gonna move past this dumb dried old cunt up because I cannot. I just cannot. I can't even speak because of that shit. She is. Ugh.
Still don't have kids. Now it's time for a workout, so I
Oh
hit
my
Mount
God.
Everest for a quick.
This bitch does not hit Mount Everest. If she did, she went up the fucking foot of it and then climbed back down and said, you know what? I climbed Mount Everest. By technicality, I climbed Mount Everest. I'm gonna hit this because I went further than I did last video. Let's see. I went 57 seconds in, okay? 57 seconds in of Chelsea Handler, and I have to fucking hit my bowl. Chelsea, as a fellow pothead, you should be ashamed that you're that fucking annoying. Seriously. And what's annoying about you is your fucking dumbass bullshit fucking lies. These are all cap. It's all cap.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right there. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
It is all lies. You a lying ass bitch. You ain't happy. And the fact that you're trying to convince people makes it
Climb. I
bullshit.
invent a time machine, go back in time, and kill Hitler.
Freeze, you bastard!
Why would you kill someone that your whole entire ideology is just modeled after? Like the entire liberal ideology, like the far liberal ideology that these people, like the far left ideology, that's so much in line with what Hitler was talking about. I don't understand why they hate him so much. I know they don't really hate him. They can't hate him. Because every time I turn around, his name is in their mouth. His name or Nazi or something like that. And I feel really bad for these people because either they are the Nazis or they're going to be the victim of one when they have burnt all the bridges that they are burning. They're going to burn all these bridges. And there's not going to be a singular soul to come and help them from the actual Nazis. Because there are some. There are actual groups of neo-Nazis that have been diligently waiting for their chance to strike American people. Whether they're Democratic or Republican, it doesn't matter. They are American. And they will attack you. That's gonna happen eventually. I think something might have to happen before it does happen. So it's like a catastrophic event because, like I said, these people are in hiding. They hide in the mountains. They hide in the woods. They go to these little enclaves to train. But please believe they are training. They might inbreed themselves into a non-existent ability to fight, but who knows? You never know, man. They might inbreed into fucking turning into some kind of weird fucking mongoloid creatures or something. Who knows? But the point is, there is actual Nazis that exist in this world, and people like this are constantly wanting to bring them up. Constant. Towards the wrong people. The people who would actually save you from a Nazi. The people who would fucking gladly take up arms and be right there next to you fighting a Nazi. Because I guarantee you that would happen. I guarantee you that most liberals and most conservatives would put aside their idiotic ideologies and fight people who are actually a threat. I guarantee you that would happen. But I have a feeling the people that are like this, who live and sleep with Hitler and fucking Nazi in their brain constantly, they're the same people who very well may be one. They're just using it as a form of, no, you are. The old proverbial point the finger at them first before they point it at you. That's literally what it seems like. I don't know if that's it. I can't begin to say that, but that's been a theory of mine with far leftists for quite some time now. They really like to scream Nazi, but yet they're the ones who do all the fascist type things, all in the name of communism, which is fucking hilarious. it's all big walking fucking oxymoronic bullshit. Yet again, I have to get past this somehow, some way.
Mulan. I like boys and girls, but I still don't know why I couldn't get either one if I really tried.
Oh, okay, so she's grooming children.
I'm switching my preference like an on and off switch.
You know, grooming doesn't always necessarily mean like a predatorial nature of like trying to have sex with them, but it is also considered when you're trying to project something that's not already there. These children are not like these books like books that were designed for kids, and kids don't need to know about sexuality until a specific age. Period. Teaching them about your sexuality, about other people's sexuality, that's an act of grooming. You're walking in the world of manipulation because they're young. You're a teacher, so they're learning everything you're teaching them. I had just seen not too long ago a mayor literally fired all of the teachers for having stuff like this. So be careful if you're a teacher. This is your way of wanting to. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's grooming. It's what it is. And I know that Vice recently also said that that's a conspiracy theory when it comes to talking about children and sexuality. No, it's not a conspiracy theory. If it is, then explain simply. Just simply explain why, when we say this, everyone becomes very, very feral in defending it. And defending this. This is not okay for a child. It's okay to explain these relationships in a very minute sense until it is, because you know your child is going to see a gay person. Like gay people are always going to exist. That's a historical fucking thing. It's been around for centuries. That's a sexuality. That's a type of sexuality that shouldn't be talked with children until a specific age, till maturity starts to come. That's an appropriate time to talk with them, and it's a parent's job, not a teacher's job. It's never been a teacher's job. The only time it's a teacher's job is, like I said, in that specific age during what we called what's sex ed. You don't have no authority as a teacher to teach elementary kids any form of sexuality, period. If you do that, you're grooming. You may not understand that yourself, but it is a form of grooming. Whether you're trying to or not, you are doing it, period. Don't do that, or you're going to be called a groomer, because that's what it is. If you don't like being called a groomer, simply don't do that. Let the parent or guardians of these children do that. You don't have no authority to do that. Matter of fact, you hear all these teachers who are doing that, here soon you're going to be facing serious consequences for it. That's not me just saying that to scare anyone or anything. That is a legitimate truth. There are consequences that you will have to face for grooming. That's all I'm going to say on that. Let us move on.
Oh boy. White cis women, we need to talk. Take it.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no.
I tried to hold out even more. I got to 1 minute and 54 seconds without hitting my bowl. I'm having to hit it now. I thought Chelsea Handler was going to be the worst of all white women complaining about white women. But here we are. What is it about? What is this? What is this? Explain to me why most white women love to bring up other white women in an argument. They love to and I'm only talking about liberal white women, but they love to say white. They love to bring up white people. They have this weird self-hatred. And what's weird is they all try to look like each other. They really do. They all try to look like each other. Are we really in the fucking Matrix for real? And these people are just simulations? At some point, we have to start asking these questions. Because I thought that was a joke. But the more people like this come about, the more people like Curly Sue here try to bring race into situations that they really necessarily don't even have to be. And I say race in quotations because I don't believe, I've said it numerous times, I do not believe, because there is not a singular scientific fact that says my skin color is my race. It does, however, say that my race is human. Plain and simple on that one. Can't really argue that. I can't change that until I somehow become some molecular difference than you and the other Tom and Dick and Harry that fucking watches this. We're all human. We're human. We are human. Either way, people like this gonna have to get off this because it almost seems like they say that so that way they don't say something else. You know what I'm saying? Because historically, these people used to say a lot of bad things about black people. I'm starting to think that maybe this is just their way of not getting in trouble. You know what I mean? Because if you say this about white people, if you can say anything about white people, white people this, white people that. You can say whatever the fuck you want, and ain't nothing ever gonna happen to you. You are not gonna lose your job over it. It's just not gonna happen. You're not gonna lose your job because you talk shit about a white person. It's not ever gonna happen. But you will lose your job if you talk shit about a black person. Your employer will find out, and your employer will not want to be associated to you, and they will fire you. That's a surefire, simple fact. I think these folks are the type of people who want to say something bad about black folks, but they can't. They can't because they will lose every ounce of what they have. So they have to choose the target that they know for a fact they can say something about, but they mean something else. They mean something totally else. And I know they do. I know they do. I just realized I'm brighter than a motherfucker because of this fucking light. I am turning it down. That is intense. Okay, that should be. No. No. It's gotta be that. It's gotta be that. So, yeah, I don't like this kind of behavior. And I've never liked this kind of behavior. When I was young, I had, because of the neighborhood that I grew up in, I had only black friends. I had only one white guy that was my friend that I could say that was my friend growing up in the neighborhood that I grew up in. He was really only one. I had some other people that I was friendly with at school that were white, naturally. But only one actual white friend. And all my other friends were either black or Hispanic. I even had an Asian friend named Adam. He, all of them, never once, like, viewed me as a white boy or a white person. But I would hear other people describe me as soon as they say, "Hey, that long hair white boy," and nothing ever like be a thing. Even I wouldn't even feel nothing about it because it's a descriptor, right? So then you got people who will use it in the sense like other fucking white people, or saying some shit like that, and it's like that's a collective judgment because of somebody who was white did you harm. Somebody who was just so happened to be white fucked you over. So now you're collectively judging all white people. It's no different if somebody was to do that with black people, and plenty of people do vice versa, opposite, back and forth. That kind of mentality's got to end. And the only way to truly end it is to acknowledge your race is human. That's the only way this will ever fucking end. You cannot continuously and calling yourself a nationality. This is another one that ticks me off. Calling yourself a nationality as a race is about as redundant as trying to say that you can breathe nitrogen and fucking be fine and dandy. Like it's not gonna happen the way you think it's gonna happen. Okay. Now let me hit this. God damn, because feeling some kind of way about this one. I just don't like when someone leads that way. You know what I mean? If they lead in their whole entire argument with this white bit, it instantly makes me not want to listen. Because they're coming from just sheer hatred for one, and it has nothing to do with any kind of like wrongdoing on her part. But, let's continue to hear what she's wanting to take a deep breath about and have a talk with about white cisgendered women.
A deep breath. And let's talk. Some of you just now reacted to me saying cis. That defensiveness comes from white supremacy culture.
That's funny. That's hilarious. Okay. So, cisgendered is an irrelevant term. Nobody has to use it. Nobody needs to use it. It's people, like I said yet again, who are, I think, low-key Nazis, who like to fucking change definitions, make up words to fit their narratives. That's the calling card of a fascist. They love to change the meanings of words. They love to add new words. It's just a thing that they like to do. So, I'm not gonna listen to this. That's a glorified cunt. Is all that is, and I'm gonna say that with such vigorous fucking attitude. That is a fucking cunt. Anyway, would you mind sharing the process that your youngest child went through to figure out they were a different gender? I can probably assume, just based off of the way she's gearing up to have this explanation, is that she more than likely planted the idea in their child's head from the get-go. Just a little guess.
The process, the journey is ongoing and probably will be for...
Lady, your mouth is supposed to be right over here. You're not supposed to go all the way over here when you're going to talk, because there's people who have, like, cancer problems where their mouth has been relocated over here due to cancer. It looks like you're making fun of them. Stop doing that, okay? Fucking weird. I don't understand why people do that, and they all the time do it. And it doesn't matter. I'm not coming at her from, you know, an apolitical stance on this one. I'm coming at her because I see smart ass people all the time doing this. They think that they're being smart. They think they're being fucking cute, and they put their mouth up to the side. You're not gonna be sucking dick on the side, okay? You need to put your mouth a little bit more centered, so that way I can feel like I'm talking to a human and not somebody who's just being a dick. Because it looks like she's actually trying to be a dick. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a dick.
Potentially her entire life, but here's how it started. So she was designated, assigned, observed male at birth. And until about 18 months, didn't really, know too much, just kind of was raising 2 kids, working full time, not really paying attention to what was going on. And at around 18 months, she started showing signs of like really being interested in things that her sister had and had in her closet, and wanting to play dress up and wanting to put on lip gloss. And when she would see fingernails, she would want her fingernails painted too. And, we thought it was cute. No issue. We had no issue with, her wanting to do those kinds of things. And then around the age of 2, things started to progress at a quicker pace. And so each time that we would go to pick her up from preschool, she was fully outfitted in dresses and jewelry. And so I will say I was super stoked that we had such a wonderful childcare center that she was in, because she was allowed to, experiment with her gender. And
so between you and a child care center, I guess that's another terminology for a daycare, I guess, but very weird. Why allow another person's viewpoints insert into your... Is there a father figure in this role here, or are you just like...
play dress up and do those kinds of things and have access to them. So when I would go to pick her up from preschool, like I said, she would be dripping in, just jewelry and clicky shoes and all kinds of stuff. And getting her to take that off to go home was usually a pretty gnarly struggle. And then around the age of 4, she started wanting to wear like leggings and headbands. She had this one headband she was completely attached to that she felt, I look back on it now and think to myself, gosh, I wonder when she put that that headband on, she thought to herself, people see me for who I am. No one's going to misgender me now. And so it progressed. It just kept moving in that direction.
That's fucking bullshit lies. At the age of 4, he was not doing that. I'm not fucking dare fucking continuing the indoctrination of someone else's child. He was not fucking thinking that. You are a sick, twisted bitch, and so is the people at that daycare that or child care service that you fucking had. Y'all groomed your boy to be a little girl. That's fucked. That's horrible. That is disgustingly horrible. You should be ashamed as a fucking human being, not as a fucking mother, not as, because you're not clearly a good mother or a mother, because you want to harm your child. And I guarantee you, you're wanting to fucking mutilate them. That is horrible. There's going to come a time where you have to face the consequences for that. It may not be in this life. But that kind of atrocity that you have done to humanity, you're going to have to face that. I'm not coming at this from a religious stance. I feel like I have to say this over and over again. I'm not coming at this from a religious stance. I'm not coming at this from he's a conservative. He's got that southern accent. He's a conservative. No, I'm not coming from that point of view. I'm coming at it from a scientific point of view. That is not right. It is wrong. It is fundamentally wrong. You do not do that to children. Period. This is not something to be going down the road to do. Doing this, that's going to lead to the end of your entire line. You don't have a genetic line no more. If you mutilate your son, because that's what your son is, he's your son. If you mutilate him to be your daughter, you end your line. Your genetic line is done. Your marker in humanity is gone. If more people do that, if people continuously follow into that and follow its suit and direction, humanity is done. I would like to think that maybe, possibly, there is way more people smarter and more knowledgeable to do that. Because it's okay for an adult, a full-grown adult, preferably someone who has reached the age of 25, so their brain is fully fucking developed. It is fine for a full-blown adult to do whatever they want to their body. But it is highly, highly recommended that if you're going to transition, you don't do no mutilation. Because we ain't there. We are not there. I implore you highly. That's coming from a place I don't truly understand the whole transgender thing. As far as body dysphoria shit, I truly don't understand that mentality because I'm not that kind of person. But I do know that scientifically we are not there to turn you fully into the opposite sex. We're just not there. I would love for us to be there to help further that condition, because people who are truly suffering from gender dysphoria, body dysmorphia, or whatever, the people who are suffering from that, they really do get alleviated by presenting as either masculine or feminine. But they don't have a good life after chopping everything up. They just don't. They become a pharmaceutical puppet. If and only the real reason why they are capable of pushing these things is because of the pharmaceutical industry. Because, let's be real, they make a lot of money off of it. Even if you're not paying directly out of pocket, the state is. And a lot of these places, the state are. It's a fucking bold-faced fact. There's some places where the states, or certain states, pay for their fucking reassignment surgery. Pay for their biggest mistake of their entire genetic line. Their ancestors weep. That's the last thing I would ever want to do. As a man of my stature, as just someone of my simple stature, I would never ever want to upset my ancestors. That would fucking bring so much dishonor upon me. I don't see how these people even walk without fucking having their head into the fucking ground. They should feel so much shame.
With more and more things that started showing more and more signs. She would say, when I wake up tomorrow, I'll be a girl. And we were kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. And my husband and I would be like, we gotta figure this thing out. And so kind of for that final test, my husband decided, you know what, we're going to figure this thing out. We're going to tap into this and see what happens. So he said, you know, I'm going to coach a t-ball team and I want her to be on it. And so I was like, all right, let's do it. Well, that didn't go over so well. She not only hated t-ball, she hated the uniform, she hated the hat. We found everything in the trash multiple times. You couldn't get her out the door to go play on Saturday mornings. And so eventually I thought at one point, well, what if I let you wear your leggings and a tank top underneath, and we can, as soon as the game's over, you can take your uniform off. And she was like, okay. So she wore that.
How old is she supposedly doing this? Because I don't recall any 4-year-olds ever playing t-ball. Like, did she say an age that I didn't hear along the way?
In that direction with more and more things that started showing more and more signs. She would say, when I wake up tomorrow, I'll be a girl. And we were kind of dripping in, you know, just jewelry and clicky shoes and all kinds of stuff. And getting her to take that off to go home was usually a pretty gnarly struggle. And then around the age of 4, she started wanting to wear like leggings and headbands. She had this one headband she was completely attached to that she felt, I look back on it now and think to myself, gosh, I wonder when she put that headband on, she thought to herself, people see me for who I am. No one's going to misgender me now. And so it progressed. It just kept moving in that direction with more.
No 4-year-old is doing that. Like, not without being coached into doing that. That's just not happening. I don't even see someone who actually is, you know, because people would, I'm pretty sure it's something that they're born with. It's not, I mean, I don't know 100%. I do know that it is a full-on mental affliction that a lot of physical things can be done to help. But at the end of the day, there's one thing we just can't do, and we cannot change your gender. It can't be done. And that's something that everybody who has that issue has to come to terms with. But at 4 years old, playing t-ball, all of this sounds like straight up cap.
Stop the cap.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's the face of a liar. Oh, God, she makes a lot of weird faces throughout this whole thing. Holy fuck. Do y'all see this? Holy fuck. If you just go through her thing, look at her face. That's what happens when you're being fake. When you're being fake, you make all these fucking horrible faces that you're trying to glorify a lie with. Jesus Christ.
She told us she was a girl, and we believe her.
Go do your eyebrows better.
You know what I don't get is why people still see me as a woman.
Because you're biologically a woman. I can tell you that. I mean, I wouldn't want to see you as a woman personally. Like, I would view you more like a dyke than anything, you know? But, you know, oh, wait a minute. That's now apparently a slur, even though that's what every one of my lesbian friends that were a dyke would call themselves. They're like, I'm a dyke. That's what I am. So how they've turned that into a fucking slur towards masculine presenting lesbians is fucking the most stupidest fucking thing in the world. But apparently you can't say that, so I'm gonna not say that no more, or otherwise I'll get a fucking strike on my shit for slurring or some shit. Anyway, either way, I would view this not as a bitch. I just wouldn't. There's masculinity there. Would I want to be her friend? Only if she's got a good personality. But I'm not gonna fucking mistake her as an actual dude. Like, I'm gonna know right off the bat, you're a fucking female, because that's what you biologically are, period. Like, it takes a while before females can get masculinity, and even then, it's still, like, pretty spottable. I've seen a lot of, like, I call them templates. I don't know what else to call them. They seem like templates. Particularly they look the same. Like, some people just they develop a style that is so similar with someone else's. Maybe it's even eating habits or something. I don't know, but something along the way, these people all start to look alike, and masculine presenting women who love other women, because hell, a lesbian might become a slur before long. So even though it's like, I honestly don't know what's not gonna be a fucking negative term towards these kinds of people, to be honest with you, because they create new ones every day. Just they find a reason to be offended. If you haven't given them one, they will find one for sure.
What more could I be doing? I literally cut my titties off.
What? And they can show that because guess what? They cut all the insides out. And because males can show theirs, that biological female can show her flat-chested skin. I wonder if they allow flat-chested females who are presenting as females to show their flat chests. No, they don't. You know why? Because it's considered, an act of nudity. That's bullshit. And watch I get in trouble for having her do that. That's what's fucking hilarious. I might get in trouble for her doing that. Because that's what her is a her. And she just showed her fucking nipple. I said her. I said that in the most stupidest way possible. But still, my point is, see, that's what happens when you get fucking carried away with cracking on these fucking things. I say things in the sense that these people have lost their humanity. They really have. They've lost their humanity. I want so bad, because I have another video I have a video lined up after this one of conservative cringe. Yeah, because I need to see. I need to know. Who's the worst of all these? Who's the worst of these people? So far, we have quite a few years. Through the Obama years, through the Biden years, through the Trump years, we have a few years of this progressiveness, as they call it, be shown as nothing but a fucking mental disease. It's just a mental disease. Their ideology is disease-like. When it spreads, the fucking, you know what's really fucked up? Look at Portland right now. Look at Portland, Oregon. I wish Need to Connect was watching right now. But he's talking to me, so that way I can. Because he's from, or I don't know if he's from Portland, but I know he's from Oregon. And he can confirm it. Because this is the truth. Portland is deteriorating in population. And all the people that are leaving are all the people who voted for all these things, all these highly liberal people who voted for all these high liberal policies that led to homeless, gangs, all kinds of bullshit taking over. Because they have power. It enabled liberalism and moderation is a wonderful thing to have. It really is. It's a very wonderful thing to have. It's just like conservatism on specific topics is very necessary to have. But being too far in any one of them is just absolutely garbage. It's garbage human behavior. Yeah, you look like Drew Carey's son, to be honest with you. Oh, here we go with this person.
Or listen. So, hi, I'm Mama Rose. I am a transgendered woman. I go by she, her, they, them pronouns. And I can tell you right now, my period I experience every month is very real, very valid, and very painful. But you know what? You go ahead and keep invalidating.
You don't have a period. Cramps that you're feeling, because if you chopped your shit off, it's because of the complications that's going on inside of your body. You're likely fucking suffering. Your body hates you. That sums every ounce of what is going on here up. Because a male, a biological male, no matter what you do, no matter how much you chop off, no matter what you put up in there, you're never going to have a period. It ain't going to happen. Menstruation does not happen to men. Period. Period. Quite literally. Does not happen to men. Stop fucking thinking this dumb shit. You, sir, are needing help. I'm not going to make fun of the mentally ill anymore. I refuse to make fun of the mentally ill. This is a mentally ill person. They need to get help. If you know this person, seek them out and tell them to seek some help because they need it. They are desperately in need of some help. It's necessary.
Trans women. You go ahead and keep
No, I'd rather just skip you because you know what? There's some women who actually have very painful fucking periods like every month. There's a lot of women who have very painful periods that fucking send them into like unrealistic rage for no reason because of the pain. Fuck you, you weird troglodyte bitch thing. You don't have periods. You'll never have periods. And it's like a fucking spit into every woman who has those painful ones' face. And I feel like, personally, they need to be confronted on that by a woman who has those types of painful periods. Because I know there's quite a bit of them out there. So I think they need to confront these fucking stupid fucks and let them know what's up.
System, and if you have met us, you have probably met me. My name is Onyx. I am the primary protector of the asylum system. I mainly hold traumas regarding adulthood abuse and adulthood abusers.
Hi, I'm Nikki. I'm the social protector of the asylum system. I've been around for a very, very long time.
Hi, I'm Doe. They don't really know about me yet.
I don't know if they'll see this until later, but it's a secret. Hi, I'm Nova.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna sit here and look. They fucking go on and on and on. They go on and on. They are someone who don't have a fucking daddy in their life, so they're making up all these damn fucking personality issues. The problem with doing such a thing like that is it eventually becomes a mental issue that is in itself something very bad to have. And I'm not talking about the actual actions of here having personality disorders or anything, but the action of pretending to continuously pretending to be something you're not is actually mentally damaging to yourself. It actually degrades your brain. There's brain degradation because of pretending to be something you're not. You're supposed to be, as a human being, who you are. Here's looking at you, Sneeko, trying to be Andrew Tate calm. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep digging at that fucking weirdo. Wannabe red pillar. I have a theory that he's a SJW disguised as a red pillar. That's why I call him a wannabe. 4 months of second puberty, and I've never felt more like myself.
My voice 1 week on TV.
So this is a great idea. If you are able to and don't have too much like voice dysphoria in order to record yourself, you'll notice the differences that happen, because sometimes you can't really tell unless you hear it like this. That is changing. And you know, the timeline's going to be different for everyone. Oh, look at you with the top surgery. That's amazing. You look great.
Wow. Oh, that hurt. Wow.
Yeah, no lifting the arms above your shoulders for 6 weeks.
My name is Asher, and this is my voice.
Your
3
voice sounds
months on
great.
testosterone.
3 months, wow. So again, if it's not there at 3 months, don't worry, it will get there.
My name is Asher, and this is my voice.
Oh, my dude. Nice.
Finally, I made myself very clearly say,
And if that was a doctor, let's just say that doctor better not be doing anything stupid with children, or they will lose their license very soon.
we have to use a condom. With some embarrassment, he regained control of himself. He took a deep, shuddering breath and said, I have a couple in my wallet. Let's use 2, just to be sure, I said. Okay, he said. But once he started to kiss me again, the taste and smell of him overwhelmed me, and I became frantic to get his clothes off, too. I felt hypnotized as if I were in a dream, and I kept thinking, this is Matt. He is mine now, mine at last.
Okay, I think we get the point. Can you get to
Yes, I can move
your
on to the next
statement?
one. That's fine. Next book, How Sex Apps Work. Step 1. You upload a tiny picture of yourself. What?
What was the first one?
It's on record. It is Girl in Translation and is mandatory reading for 10th grade honors. Step 1, How Sex Apps Work. Different book. Upload a tiny picture of yourself to the app. The app works out your location. Step 2. Step 3, the app tells you who the nearest homosexuals are. Doesn't matter. Don't focus on that. We don't provide that information to any student. Number 4, you can chat to them. 5, because they are near, it is easy to meet up with them. Page 160, if you are that horny and you want to do a sex meet the trick in public place for a drink first. Number 173, page 173, doing the sex. A good handy is all about the wrist action. Rub the head of his COCK back and forth with your hand. Blowies. Oral sex, it's popping another dude's peen into your mouth.
Can you move on to the next one,
Yes,
please?
I can. Milk and honey. He guts her with his fingers like he scraped the inside of a cantaloupe clean. I will smile, throw my head back, arch my body like a mountain, and you will split in half. Baby, lick me, like your mouth was the gift of reading.
Can you summarize, please, or
yes,
be done?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Fluently, vividly, don't you dare leave a single word untouched. I swear my ending will be so good the last few words will come running into your mouth. And when you're done, take a seat, because it's my turn to make music with my knees pressed to the ground. This is in the Citizen's Guide to the U.S. Federal Law on Obscenity, Section 1466A in the Title 18 United States Code makes it illegal for any person to knowingly produce, distribute, receive, or possess intent to transfer or distribute visual representations such as drawing, cartoons, or paintings that appear to depict minors engaging in sexually explicit content and are deemed obscene, what is considered obscene can be determined by referring to the United States Department of Justice. These are all the books in multiple of your schools, and the kids get credit for reading them by the 20 in 4 program that you guys provide. I ask you, what are you going to do about this? Answer.
No, I want to know the fucking answer. I want to know what those fucking bastards had to say. Because here's the thing. Everything that she was saying, I would have never been able to see that in my school. You would have had to have, like, done that wrote some shit like that amongst your friends or some shit. That would have never been, like, given to us by teachers. Period. That would have been done with. That right there was some sick shit. Whoever, and I mean whoever, oof, that is absolutely disturbing. That is very disturbing.
All right, we have to talk about this right-wing idea of parents' rights. It's
the right-wing parents' rights idea is just their nice-sounding name for mistreating their children. Oh, it's literally just fascism as far as she can tell. Well, they can't, like I said, they can't help but go to that because that's all they have in their brain. Who's the one who's wanting to take away the parents' ability to tell their children, no, that's not right? Who's the one who's taking away the ability for a parent to raise their child? These people who also did that. I can tell you it was some bad guys. You know? Who else did it? I'll give you a little bit. Just to think about it. It was the motherfucking Nazis. The National Socialists. People who have so much in common with the modern day liberal. And I'm not talking about your average liberal who, just wants to smoke some herb and shit. I'm talking about these radical ass people right here who want to take away the rights of parents. And they're trying to label it with, what do you know, something that sounds so very harmful. And anybody who's reactionary is going to immediately go along with that. Because they're like, oh no, we can't mistreat children. Because their heart is in the right place. But their mind is definitely so far from the from the right place. Their mind has drifted into a very, very wrong place. Because now they are being misled or whatever it is that falls upon people, because this is not an old person. This is, even though they're presenting like an old person, they look like a fucking elderly old man about to go and fucking go walk down a pier and throw his little fishing line out and sit there all day. That's legitimately what he, whatever it is trying to go with this look. And regardless, they're not that old. They're young. And they've been misled. They have been told this bullshit to the point to where they truly think anything that is against their ideology is fascism. When their ideology is running parallel with fascism. I mean, trying to take away human or parents' rights. Hate to tell you this, but just because your mommy and daddy don't really want to raise you any, or you just don't want them to raise you any, doesn't mean jack shit. Just doesn't mean jack shit. I wish for a better future for these people. I just don't see it coming. I'm done with these I am moving on to the conservatives now. Here we are. We are in conservative cringe now. So now we're going to find out. Are these people as cringy as the others? Because I'm pretty sure they can be pretty fucking cringy. I've seen some people who were once upon a time, and I have a feeling I will see some of them. They pretended to be anarchists and apolitical thinkers like myself, but then they quickly changed it around and like, oh no, we're libertarian, which isn't a bad thing unless you're these particular people. But I'm pretty sure I'll see them. Probably not that far along into this video. I just know that we're starting off with Mr. Graham here, so we're gonna hear what kind of dodo brain bullshit comes out of his mouth for this, and then we'll move on.
You can say with confidence that you think Brown versus Board of Education super precedent is that you're not aware of any effort to go back to the good old days of segregation by a legislative body. Is that correct?
That all of the water levels around.
Why did they cut it off? I wanted to hear where he was going with that, because it didn't sound so great the way they cut that off. But that was cut off intentionally. Who made this? Anyway.
Around the world rise by let's say 5 feet over the next 100 years, say 10 feet by the next 100 years, and it puts all the low-lying areas on the coast underwater, right? Which, let's say all of that happens. You think that people aren't going to just sell their homes and move?
We were at the Trump rally.
Oh, here they are. Oh, here they are. Liberty Hangout. See, now, these are some people that I will always, especially Miss Shits herself here, I will always have an issue with these people. You see that black and yellow there? Black and yellow is synonymous with ANCAP. You know what ANCAP stands for? It stands for anarcho-capitalist, okay? These people are not, in any shape or form, anarcho-capitalists. These people are fucking annoying. And they are goddamn culture vultures. They're ridiculous. Especially Miss Shits herself here. I would like to take her dude and throw him around a couple of times. Like, I wanted to fight him so bad. There's been many times that I just wish I could force choke the fuck out of every one of those fuckers over at Liberty Hangout. I don't like these people. If there are such thing, if there is such thing as conservative cringe, it exists with Liberty Hangout. All of Liberty Hangout. I'm pretty sure there might be some good folks that are associated with them, but the people that I've had the misfortune of fucking dealing with are ridiculously dumb fucking morons. They're just as dumb as the fucking idiotic SJW people, and I have, like I said, I have theories that these people are just SJW infiltrators. They are trying to, like, cause some kind of fluctuation on a rivaling ideology. Regardless, they suck major dick. I don't like them. I cannot stand them. And I'm just gonna have to move right past this bitch. I honestly wish her parents believed in abortion. That's for damn sure.
Ever. We were stolen.
Stop the steal. It's sad that they have to steal an election to win.
We're gonna speak out and we're gonna fight for this country.
You won. We love you. Go President Trump, and we love you.
If I may, sir, respect.
I mean, everybody does that. Everybody who votes, any person who's a statist, who wholeheartedly believes that the person that they're voting for is going to be the best president in the entire world, they do that. Left, right, it doesn't matter. That's something they all do. They all do that. So far, conservatives are winning. We're 57 minutes in. I haven't felt like smoking whatsoever, even though I came across one of the most repulsive females I've ever seen in my entire life. Whether they're left or right. Miss Shits herself is repulsive. Repulsive. Like, she honestly, I feel like would make it very hard for certain people to be aroused. I don't understand. Actually, I do understand. We got that little blue pill. Never mind. That's how she might end up being procreating in this world. I was gonna say I don't understand how she'll ever procreate in this world, but you know, I'm just being a dick. I don't like them. I'll never like them. I never had any interactions with her, but her fuckboy and some other fuckboys that are over there, yeah, I don't like them. Can't stand them. I remember everything.
Respectfully, in the Fox poll, they asked people who is more competent, whose mind is sounder. Biden beats you in that.
Well, I tell you what, let's take a test.
This did not. How old is this video? Because this did not sit well, or age so well. You know, it didn't age so well. We got a guy who says that you can measure the state of America by the I shoulda woulda fuck, or however he fucking said it. I can't even copy the son of a bitch. I really can't. But this is not faring so well for liberals. Conservatives, you're winning by a hair though.
Let's take a test right now.
Only because I feel like Liberty Hangout just dragged y'all fucking completely down. If this is your list, I feel like this list needs to be updated. I feel like there's something else that can be used.
Let's go down. Joe and I will take a test. Let him take the same test that I took.
Incidentally, I took the test too when I heard that you passed it.
Yeah, how did you do it?
Well, it's not the hardest test.
No, but
there's a picture and it says, what's that? And it's an elephant.
No. You see, that's all misrepresentation.
Well, that's what it was on the web.
It's all misrepresentation. Because, yes, the first few questions are easy, but I'll bet you couldn't even answer the last 5 questions. I'll bet you couldn't. They get very hard, the last 5 questions.
Well, one of them was count back from 100 by 7.
And let me tell you, Israel.
Yeah, somebody's trying to cleverly cut these videos. Yet again, this is what I'm talking about. When there's clear-cut cases of this kind of shit, how can anybody ever take any of these people serious? Because this is put together by somebody who clearly has...
And I think any Jewish people that vote for a Democrat... I think it shows either a total lack of knowledge or great disloyalty.
My case against Rapp is
lack of knowledge or great disloyalty. I guess I have great disloyalty because I would never vote for either one, and I descend from a Hebrew family, so fuck all of you. Plain and simple. This is not something that we should even be that hung up on, and that's where I will disagree with Trump all day, every day. That type of nationalism leads to something a little bit, and not just nationalism, but zealous behavior leads down a road of unlawful witch hunts and a lot of rights, a lot of American rights being just completely dismantled. So, no, I don't believe that that shit should be the way it is, and the way Trump likes to do things. There are some things that Trump had right, and he had it right fucking good, and he had it perfect. But that was just something, and they weren't just him. It was his advisors, because he's smart. He's a smart dude. He's a very smart dude. He knew how to get the right people around. That's how he was a good president. Biden, I don't know if he understands anything, because going back to his younger years, he still sounded no different than he does now. Yeah, he was a little bit quicker on his toes, but he was still telling you, that's no joke, man. How many times when he gets to telling a story, how many times when Biden gets to telling a story, he goes to telling the story and ends it with, that's no joke. He tells this elongated, a very elongated story that he just mumbles and bumbles around. And then he just, no. Sorry, I got interrupted here. But no, he'll end up doing that bullshit, going on, and he'll be like, "That's no joke, man. That's no joke." That's his thing. He loves to say that. That's like his go-to. It's almost like a segue for him to continue his joke, but it doesn't really happen. And, I have nothing against Ben Shapiro. I really don't. I don't have nothing against him. But I wish the guy would fucking go to a speech class or something and slow the fuck down. Maybe smoke a blunt. Maybe a whole fat fucking roasting ass blunt. It's sacrament, my dude. Fucking enjoy it. It is. I don't know why it left sacrament, but it was sacrament for fucking from the time of Jesus walking, because he used it in his holy anointing oils. From the time Jesus was walking to the time, I think it was like almost 100 years later, and then some fucking douchebag decided to rewrite all of the Bible itself, and took it out as no longer sacrament. It was fucking sacrament. It always was sacrament, and it was something that is supposed to be heavily enjoyed by human beings, and especially religious ones. But no. So I wish this man would do that. If he could do that, if he could just smoke him a fucking fatty right now, this dude might become tolerable to both the left and the right. I feel like he could do that. Because yes, he's a religious man, but he comes from a place of fact, a place of science. Not many religious people can do that. I mean, I'm an ordained minister. I have my scholarly reasons for doing that. But this guy, I feel like, could do that. But as of right now, this dude's annoying as fuck. Am I right? like the way when he gets going, he just. I can't even mock him. I can't mock him at all. I've tried to mock him, but he sounds like a little chihuahua just barking at your ankles. But nevertheless, the dude has a lot of points. I would say he's got plenty of good points to where that if he would just chillax a little bit, I think he might actually be a decent human being for real.
I have the musical case against rap, and then I'll get to the cultural case against rap. So,
And that's another fucking thing that I'm still talking about. Like he just needs to smoke him a fucking blunt. I don't even care to hear this bullshit because I've already heard this. He doesn't like rap, and I fucking love rap. To say something about rap and try to use your opinion in a factual manner, it just sounds absolutely redundant. And I just, no matter how fast you talk, my man, you'll never be right. Not in that part.
rhythmic speaking. And
After 30 years of military service, Lee led U.S. Marines to crush the attempted slave rebellion by radical abolitionist John Brown in October 1859. 21 co-conspirators had seized a federal armory, and all of them were killed or captured, including John Brown, who was tried and hanged for treason. Lee deemed slavery a moral and political evil in any country, but considered it a greater evil to the white man than to the black race, since blacks are immeasurably better off here than in Africa.
then he proceeded to explain to me why he thought that.
Okay. So is this just gonna be all Ben Shapiro?
But they gave your place to an applicant of a different gender and persuasion. I know the test scores and I knew the qualifications. She was less qualified. So my question is, if they were of a different gender, do you know what gender they were?
I never said that. That's fake news. Thanks for being here tonight. Never said that. Thank you for being there tonight. And unfortunately, I was...
No matter how much you try, you can't. I really want to talk about how close this dude's eyes are. But you know, that's just the descriptor type thing. You know, there's really nothing I can say bad about this guy. Like everything I've ever heard him say so far.
Waitlisted, and things kind of started to get a little bit odd, and I eventually lost my spot out to what I felt was a far less qualified applicant in my district that was of a different gender and a different persuasion. You could take it any way you want, but I knew the test scores, I knew the qualifications. I was kind of got the short end of the stick. I never said that. That's fake news. Thanks for being here tonight. That was of a a different gender and a different persuasion.
You can imagine what those countries.
So he did say that, but let's go back and full on analyze this.
Applied to West Point, but they gave your place to an applicant of a different gender and persuasion. I know the test scores and I knew the qualifications. She was less qualified. So my question is, if they were of a different gender, do you know what gender they were?
I never said that. That's fake news. Thanks for being here tonight. Never said that. Thank you for being there tonight. And unfortunately, I was waitlisted and things kind of started to get a little bit odd, and I eventually lost my spot out to what I felt was a far less qualified applicant in my district that was of a a different gender and a different persuasion. You could take it any way you want, but I knew the test scores, I knew the qualifications. I was kind of got the short end of the stick.
So he did that fucking thing that I was talking about when you do it like that. I told you, no matter left or right, they all do it. They all fucking do it. When they're trying to sound like a smartass, they do that. Yeah, you caught on candy camera, my man.
I never said that. That's fake news. Thanks for being here tonight. That was of a a different gender and a different persuasion.
You can imagine what those countries put into the system. They're not putting their good ones. And remember
Oh, they have to fucking resort to this. Yeah. Not so great. How long ago was that? 2 years ago? Yeah. Yeah. Try a little bit better next time. Because I need some more convincing here. Oh, there's that one. Right there. Oh, Lord. Yeah, anybody doing that kind of stuff, running up and just interrupting a speech, no matter who speech it is, if you come up and just scream, because you got to scream your point across, because you can't just calmly talk about your point. Yeah, you probably are in the cringe factor, regardless of what your political stance is. You're in the cringe factor. But yeah, it's safe to say, liberals have conservatives beat by a long shot, but conservatives not too far from behind. They have these people who do a lot of extra things in the name of God and in the name of their president, whoever it may be. Not that many people did it with Bush, but old Trump, he brought out some of the wackos. He brought out some of those people that they didn't realize he wouldn't stand with. See, they thought because he was a lifelong Democrat that he would probably stand with them. But the thing is that the man's a Republican now. If he was to try to stand with these people, and you know what I'm talking about. If he was to stand with these particular people, then he would not be granted a Republican nomination by no means. So he brought out even those people, just simply being, you know, the way he was talking. And some of the left-wing rhetoric that was talked about the man even led those people to believe it to be so. So it empowered them even more. Hearing left-wing dumb shits talk about it, saying, "Oh, he's a Nazi. Oh, he's Adolf Hitler and reincarnated." All the dumb shit that they would say about him. That's the kind of mentality that built. That built that shit. I don't know. I don't have that like zealous love for any president, because yet again I'm apolitical. I see through their bullshit. I know they don't give a fuck about us. There's some who by their own creed kind of have to. They kind of have to. But they look at it as a burden. And even those people are still not to be trusted. Not as far as you can throw them, at least. And if they're a full-grown adult, I bet you can't throw them that far. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Now, I have done spent an hour and 31 minutes compiling my thoughts upon who is the cringiest of them all. Who takes home that crown. And I figured it would be the left. And I really want to say it is the left. But I feel like it's not even going to be that fair to me. Because I'm all the time showing videos of them. I'd never hit y'all with any of those cringe. And I guess I kind of can't, because it seems like they're just cutting the material to make it look a certain way. If you notice, all the liberal videos are self-uploaded most of the time. Most of those are all them doing all the recording themselves. So, Ain't nobody cutting nothing. I would like to honestly see humanity grow from this political viewpoints that they have. Get back to thinking more about us as a whole. Like, we can have collective thought when it comes to the progression of humanity. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But having all these inward collective thoughts that just drive us to hate our neighbor for no fucking reason, these things are gonna have to come to an end. Otherwise, we're simply just not gonna be an actual society anymore. All these things that we all take for granted will be ripped away from us. It will be torn from us. These are this is the inevitability. It only takes madmen like Putin to be driven even more mad. It only takes a push of a button for some of these crazy ass people, and all hell breaks loose. Shit hits the fan. And humanity starts dropping like crazy. These ideologies that divide you will serve no purpose but to put you in a grave. It's really as simple as that. These ideologies that keep you from respecting your fellow man, your fellow woman, respecting science, and not making up shit, trying to make up some fucking third gender like you actually have one. I know certain cultures, there are certain cultures who would believe in that type of thing. They believe in a third gender that happens. And it can easily be explained with the fact that there is sometimes abnormalities that are born with sometimes both parts. So throughout the years, certain cultures had names for those, and they viewed them as a third gender. A rare, but still a third gender. So I understand that some people like to bring that cultural aspect up, but understand that that's a cultural aspect about hermaphrodites, not people with gender dysphoria. Science has a purpose. Let's not make up shit. Let's not fucking do anything crazy. Let's get the fuck along. I'm tired of seeing it, and I'm pretty sure everyone else who is stuck in the middle of this shit is tired of seeing it as well. Nobody needs to hate all because they decided to vote for somebody. By all rights, we should all, if we live by that logic, hate everybody who voted for Biden. Because under Biden's rule, what has happened? Name one good thing that's happened. I can't think of one thing. But I can tell you that economically, we have suffered. We continue to suffer because of ridiculous spending. Spending that they really don't have that many receipts for. Because it's all going to places it shouldn't be. Funding things it shouldn't be funding. Statism is leading us down a road of destruction. And it's not just because we're glorifying the state, but it's because we've allowed the state to manipulate us, or at least some of us have. You know, there's people who exist in this world, who are in this country, in America, who do not know that there are other parties other than Democrat and Republican. Well, they know about the Green Party because of some dodo birds who've decided to speak out amongst them. But, and, you know, the Libertarian Party, because, hey, those are the guys who are conservative but like to smoke pot. You know, that's their biggest thing for people who are libertarian. You know, there would be really good hope for the Libertarian Party if they stuck to egalitarian structure. But the thing is it's kind of hard to do that and still want so much power in the state. You have to shrink it. And nobody who's ever claimed to be a libertarian that went Republican did anything good to shrinking the state, except, you know, a few handful. It's, end of the day, these are all people who are hyper focused on their ideology and their belief structure, that they're losing what made America great to begin with. Because behind all the shitty things that happened in this country, there was this greatness. Was keyword. But I digress. Wow. That came back to haunt me. Okay. So let's see if this works. Because I'm not 110% sure, because it fucking always needing something as far as like updates and shit like that. Oh my lord. Much love to the connect. How you been, man? Heck yeah, man. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I'm doing as good as I can, man. I'm doing as good as I can. Doing about as good as I can. Yeah, it's because of the game cutting on. Yeah, nah, I'm cutting the game on. Why am I put it up? But to be honest with you, it could also be the fact that I am a cannabis and apolitical content creator, and when you combine two things that are not necessarily socially acceptable in any shape or form, big tech likes to constrict your audience to a very small amount. So it could also be that. It's very possible that it could be that. Yeah, I'm actually pretty shocked at that, but do you follow the I Love Weed people? Right? Ah, okay. But that's what I'm saying, like, if you follow one stoner, it'll advertise other stoners to you. Like that, I never had a singular stoner person whatsoever ever be advertised to me on YouTube until I followed this one guy who's over on the more western side of Washington. And when I followed him, a shitload of people popped up. Well, I'm glad you fucking found me, dude. To be honest with you, I'm happy for anybody and everybody who watches me. I don't actually think that I'll ever get monetized here on YouTube. I don't see that ever happening. But I will continue to make content because I feel like I can eventually one day craft myself into a more YouTube acceptable person. So I feel like eventually I'll be able to make money off of doing this shit, but until I'll just craft myself, I guess. But yeah, this thing is not working. Yeah, I would be pretty surprised too, because I talk a lot of stuff that big tech don't like, because it interferes. They have to have a left and right paradigm. If they don't, it kind of throws a big hanker in their business. They don't get to make money off of both sides. Well, I appreciate you voluntarily. Is that a jest at me essentially being a voluntarist? Is that what that is? No, I will not look at that when Microsoft. I was about to say Windows, but it was Microsoft. Microsoft sent me a message to look at that. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this and look at that. Well, it would have been funny if it was actually just me being a voluntarist, because it would have played well with it. But who am I? I am no comedian. I try. I went to stand up one time. I used to write content for that, but I found out that because I'm such a my anxiety comes in anger. It does not come in it doesn't come in the typical scaredness or shakiness or quietness or anything. It comes with a lot of anger. So, because I always was told as a child, you got to face your problems head on. So, anything that gives me anxiety, I face it head on. I have to push straight through to it. And with that comes this anger and shit. So, I have a tendency of not really voluntarist. Yeah. I mean, it's essentially what most decent people are. It's just a very fancy term for you do you and I do me. I mean, if you really want to put it in simple terms, it's like you do you and I'll do me. And as long as me doing me doesn't interfere with you doing you, we all cool. You know? That's essentially what it means. Yeah. Should be essentially a normal thing, but there's unfortunately the authoritarian mindset is something that just is addictive for some people. It because they seek power. These people, they always want power over somebody. They have to have that control over someone. And because they have to have that control over them, it becomes it becomes one of those intoxicating things that certain humans just need. You can see it. They salivate for that kind of power. Every politician that you see past a mayor has far more of that type of energy in them than they really should. And the only reason why I'm saying past the mayor is because people who don't leave the place of mayor, they're very comfortable at being a mayor because they see the people that they're around in a better place. Those people tend to come in a place of good heart. They're just trying to see their people through a good time, or have a good place and a good area to live in. Good mayors, anyway. We know very much of, what's her name? Lightfoot from Chicago. She got booted out. And the reason why she got booted out is because under her rulings, more crime had exceeded in Chicago than any other mayor. She, and I'm gonna be honest with you, she looked like she walked up the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. And that's just me putting it softly and nicely. And I think that's because of all that corruption that she has on the inside of her. I think all that corruption morphed her. You know, you remember in Star Wars, Palpatine, once he got his lightning reversed back at him, its true form was shown. You know? I think these dark people, these evil, corruptible people, the lightning gets struck back at them one too many times. It starts to show in their face. Their body, their health. I'm a firm believer that the evil you sow, it starts to show. Cheers, my brother. Alright, let's get into this game. Alright. Here we go. That was strange. That was very strange. For some reason, Game Pass games are acting very strange. Any Game Pass game, if I come off of the main game and go back to it, it doesn't want to doesn't want to change up.
So where is she? Larissa! Freaking critters, you around here somewhere?
I do not detect anyone in the vicinity.
Let's take a look around. She's gotta be here.
Do you trust Dr. Filatova?
I don't trust anyone.
Filatova?
But she's got something important to
Filatova what?
And I'm sure Dr. Sechenov is hiding something.
Has Dr. Sechenov ever told you about his plans?
Not really. I mean, he's never really had to, but now this whole thing with Petrov, Jellyman killed Stock and the boss didn't even bat an eye. Is the launch of Collective really so important he can't even delay it out of respect for the dead?
I have no data on this topic, Comrade Major.
No data, huh? Well, I don't have any data either. So let's go get some.
When they told me that my lighthouse was gonna be ripped out of the ground and brought from Sakhalin to Kazakhstan by the robots, well, I figured they were drunk. But nope. It's thousands of kilometers away from the ocean now. Like a museum exhibit. And I'm here too. Like another exhibit. Now, sure, I got a raise. Sure, I barely have to do any work. machines. Machines do everything. Lighthouse and I are just a confirmation that humanity can do whatever it wants. But what the fuck are they guarding with all those flying guns everywhere? Huh?
Oh. Give me something special. Come on. Come on. Are you serious? Electro? Is it? Some bitch. I swear. Turn down full. Are you saying my volume's too low? Oh, okay. Because sometimes I see my, like right now when I'm talking, like depending on what word I say, my sound bar goes really far up into the red. So that's what I was doing. If my volume was entirely too high. Because I do have...
What do we have here? A chair and a TV? This isn't what I was expecting.
What were you expecting? I suspected this room has a specific function.
Oh. Oh. Oh shit! That's my worst nightmare right there.
Unscheduled acceleration was caused by the elevator access system being hacked. Otherwise, Dr. Filatova would not have been able to initiate it.
So she hacked the system. Kind of like how all these poor bastards got hacked to bits. So that's Neptune, huh? Looks nice. Actually, it looks amazing. A rapture. I wouldn't mind spending some time there myself. But I can't even imagine what's going on there right now.
Wait. Sechenov asked you to return to Chelomey.
Yeah, don't trust microwaves, man. Those things are dangerous. But they just referenced Rapture, and if I'm not mistaken, the other one is the other place. Like, is this game in the same world as BioShock? Like, I need to know if this is in the same world. Because I could have sworn that was the name of the underwater place in BioShock, but I could be mistaking it for something else. No. No, it's not related to Bioshock. It's coincidence, I'm assuming. If I'm not mistaken. I think it's just coincidence. Happenstance.
How will you explain this delay?
We can deal with that. Let's talk to the doc first. But if she tries to take off again, she's gonna regret it. I'm sick of playing cat and mouse with her.
Oh fuck, I can't look at that. That made my stomach. Oh my god, that fucking made my stomach go.
What are we doing here? What do you want?
Just hear me out, P3. Let me try to give you a different perspective, and then you can decide how to handle things. Do you know how Sechenov is planning to use Collective? What he's going to do with it?
After Collective launches, people will be able to control robots with their minds, and they won't be able to stab each other in the back anymore. Sounds nice.
I used to think that way too, but that's not how things really are. Collective isn't just about controlling robots. Sechenov will be able to control everyone who's a part of Collective. Collective is diabolical, Nechayev. It's even worse than slavery.
Bullshit. It's just the same old chain of command, but on a virtual network. What's so awful about that?
Come on, see for yourself.
I've got some
I've got questions.
Where the fuck
Where are we?
This is the Academy of Consequences, the facility's memory, analytics center, and primary archive. The activities of all the other complexes are studied here in
yeah, I
order to
can
draw
see how
conclusions and generate probability matrices.
Because they
get to the point.
They just called
The
this
Academy
underwater
has a
place
number
the
of
same
interesting
fucking name,
departments.
if I'm not
For
mistaken.
example, there's the Radio of the Future.
Rapture or
By mathematically
whatever.
combining shortwave and quantum echoes, we can predict the music people will be listening to 50 or even 80 years into the future. But there's
No, I looked
another
into it
very
as soon as
special
I was
department here called
questioning it.
polymerized
So,
subject behavioral psychology.
If me and you both come to that conclusion, it has to be the same. It has to be the not. It has to be the actual conclusion. Because we are both two different sound-minded bodies, so. But it does look in there. It's like the underwater city. He called it Rapture. If I'm not mistaken, that's the name of the underwater city in Bioshock, or the name of something in Bioshock. I forget. I remember. I played Bioshock. I might probably have to play Bioshock because it's been a while, but I've beaten all three.
How'd you get in here? Why didn't the Drophus stop you?
I work here. Well, I used to. Only Sechenov can revoke my access. And he's got his hands full right now. And I'm no threat to him.
Get to
yeah.
the point. And no more grenades or other bullshit. Any funny business...
Or like a regular old name.
This is your last warning.
Sure, fine. Come on, I won't waste your time.
Okay, lead on.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bit of a supernatural element to this.
Well, are you ready?
Yeah,
Disable
just a little bit.
polarization.
Fuck is this place? A haunted house or something?
Yeah, I would beg to differ too. It's like a commie hellhole with Bioshock aspects.
Group 30 went insane.
It's not really a clone, but it's like a
Group 204 was the most successful. They all survived. Their consciousness is now in an imaginary world. We call it Limbo.
Lord.
And their bodies are here, under my complete control. Want me to make them do something?
Why?
To show that I'm not lying?
Whatever. Line them up.
Keep going.
The fat guy. Tell him to jump. He could use it.
Just him? Why don't I make them all jump? After all, we all live in a communist society. Goddamn you, jump!
Wow. Like I said, whole bunch of communist bullshit.
This is insane. Why do you people even do this shit? Fuck. Poor bastards.
No, that's where you're wrong. Chemically speaking, they're all perfectly happy. That's what Collective is all about. The entire world will be just like
Why would
this.
Sechenov want to turn everyone into a bunch of idiots? Was he trying to make fun of the world by making people run around naked and act like animals?
No. We were able to prevent the degradation of individual consciousness. Memories, behaviors, speech patterns are all preserved.
Yeah.
But there's one thing they won't be able to avoid. The complete loss of their free will.
We gotta stop this.
Stop this. That's what Victor was trying to do. You got in his way, and now it's too late.
Your boyfriend lost his mind and killed people. He tried to tell me Sechenov taught the robots to kill during the design phase.
Imitation is
Why would
the
Boss do
utmost
that?
sincerest form of flattery, so
Collective to be a mind control system.
maybe that's what it is. Who knows? Who knows?
Sechenov wants to enslave the entire world. I'm sorry, but if you don't understand that, you're an idiot.
The boss would never do that.
He would, and he will. On Monday.
All this is really hard to swallow. But I'll help you. Whatever you're planning, I'm in.
You're willing to turn on Sechenov.
After what you just showed me. Yeah. I want to hear what he's got to say.
the problem is he's like I think he's like a sleeper cell. You Bioshook. This dude. But nah, fucking.
A man can be repaired.
I turned around and backed in, and that's how it looks.
What was that?
What's what?
Nothing. I'm just digesting what I saw.
I didn't see it.
Fine, moving on.
The test subject is not leaving limbo. Inject neurotransmitters.
Hey, Major.
I'm fine. My head's been killing me lately. I've been seeing things. This is one hell of a job, let me tell you.
It won't hurt, Sergeant. You won't even remember a thing.
Goddamn.
Hallucinations are serious business. Well, I am a neurosurgeon. I can probably help if everything ends well.
No thanks. A little vacation will fix me right up. I mean, if this all ends well.
Fine.
Listen, about Victor,
What? Did you have no choice? You couldn't have acted differently? Will you now tell me that you're sorry? What?
I am sorry.
Well, I'm not. I should be, but Victor, no other outcome was possible. It wasn't even quite him at that point. I don't want to talk about it.
I just don't feel comfortable around these people.
Huh, well, just you wait. Soon this is gonna happen all over the Soviet Union, and later the whole world. Then you'll see all people stripped of their free will.
You know, free will doesn't guarantee that a person won't be a scumbag.
What? Are you justifying atrocities?
Atrocities? What atrocities?
Dude, these
If
are
they're
fucking
volunteers,
crazy.
It was their choice. It's got nothing to do with me.
You're a monster.
Affirmative. That's enough. I'm too busy to chat right now.
Very well. Enjoy the view.
Affirmative. Wow. Yeah, this is not cool at all.
Resist, darling. Resist.
Ah, fuck. I'm so sick of these goddamn hallucinations.
Do you see colorful spots before your eyes? Does your perception of the world change?
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what this shit is?
You were crossing into limbo, but it can't be stopped. How did you interrupt it?
I don't know. It's like that lump of polymer is calling out to me. A big, teardrop-shaped one. Right there, straight above us. Do you see it?
There's nothing there.
What do you mean? I'm looking right at it. Oh crap, now it's gone.
It's a hallucinatory reaction, a side effect of the surgery you underwent. The reaction of a damaged brain to the presence of a neuropolymer implant.
What are you even talking about? What implant?
Did Sechenov not tell you? So you don't know what's happening to you?
Charles, do you know what's happening with my head?
I am not detecting any internal changes, Major. But your Voskhod polymer extension is clearly receiving an unidentified stream of external data.
What's that interface? Who are you talking to?
It's a chatting artificial librarian, an AI in my polymer glove. Doesn't matter. Charles, what are you talking about?
Charles?
Wait, Charles, what data? What Voskhod polymer extension?
The Voskhod polymer extension was developed using data from experiments conducted by Dmitri and myself.
What? Yourself? And why are you calling Dr. Sechenov Dmitri? Who are you?
Comrade Major, this will be difficult to explain. I am...
Charles, why the fuck are you all staticky? What the hell is going on?
Keep it together, Major. If what I'm thinking is true, I should be able to access the archive right now. There will be records about you.
State your name and personal access code.
Crispy critters.
Invalid name.
Fine, I'll hack in.
Not so fast. Name Cheriton Zaharov. Code Fluffy.
Code accepted. Access granted.
It's like, I know the button.
Charles, are you there?
Nothing?
Nothing. So, what is Charles then?
Long story short, your Charles is Professor Cheriton Zaharov.
Huh, that was short. So how could he be Zaharov?
Professor Zaharov was developing the collective subsystems and worked on the module. The one you have inside you. They told us he ran a number of experiments on himself. The result was disastrous and unpredictable.
On himself? Was he an idiot or something?
Oh, he certainly wasn't an idiot. Zaharov was a misanthrope obsessed with science. I don't think he cared about what happened to his body all that much.
So when did you realize that Charles is Zaharov?
Just about right now, when he went offline. I had no idea Sechenov had stashed his consciousness into your glove. It was the abbreviation Charles that tipped me off.
So Charles isn't a person anymore. Just a device.
I don't know, I guess he is. Except this device is based on the logical paradigm and experience of one of the brightest Soviet geniuses.
So why does Sechenov want him?
Because Sechenov never dismisses what he can use. It's easier for him to change everything to fit his needs. I guess you noticed this already. What's funny is that you seem to have made friends with your glove.
Well, we've been through a lot. I've got feelings, you know, being alive and all. So does he.
Did.
So, how do we get in?
Only a small bunch of people have permanent access to the archive. Sechenov, Lebedev, the director of the Academy, and Zaharov. Like you reminded me.
So, how do we get in?
Only a small bunch of people have permanent access to the archive.
What the
Sechenov,
fuck?
Lebedev, the director of the Academy, and Zaharov. Like you reminded me.
Fluffy, huh? So what would we have done if the password hadn't worked?
I'm sure you would have smashed the door with your bare fists. But now Archivist thinks I am Dr. Zaharov, so we got lucky. And now we can learn everything about you. Let's go.
Welcome, Chariton Zaharov. What is the subject of your query today?
Agent P3, personal file.
Your search returned 42 audio records.
So, which one do you want first?
I couldn't care less.
Then pick one at random. Where's the entry I'm supposed to play back, P3? Stop stalling.
Where the fuck is it? Not showing me. Not showing me either.
Try this one.
Commencing playback.
The events in Bulgaria left the agents badly injured. Technically speaking, they were clinically dead. Agent Blesna could not be saved. Since Agent Plutonium's condition was less severe, it was possible to return him to combat readiness. However, his nearly destroyed limbs had to be amputated and replaced with the latest prostheses.
Yeah, I already know half my body's prosthetic. What else is new?
These are just general observations. Find another recording.
Here's another one. Okay, play this one.
Commencing playback.
Following his recovery, the agent's personality was altered significantly, including his behavioral and speech patterns. Because of this, I made the decision to remove the agent from the Argentum unit. In order to prevent any possibility of memory recidivism, Plutonium received a new call sign, P3, and is now under my direct command and observation. P3's contact with Argentum has been kept to a minimum, and Argentum personnel have been warned against mentioning the call sign Blesna in P3's presence.
Crispy. I'll get another one.
What? Sechenov has you on a leash. He does whatever he wants with you.
Listen, Doc, he saved my life. Do you think I don't know I'm a test subject? That's my job.
So you're a volunteer, huh? Then why are you such a disobedient test subject?
because before they always told me what they were doing. I'll go get another recording.
Literally right here the whole
Let's
time.
give this one a spin.
Procedure. Implant the Voskhod neuropolymer brain function extension. Objective. Total elimination of destructive impulses triggered by traumatic memories. Patient, Major Sergei Nechayev. Codename, Plutonium. Attempt number 3. The first 2 operations were unsuccessful. The patient suffered a severe brain injury in Bulgaria, which could not be repaired. The damage is of such severity that the patient will likely have to be euthanized.
Did you hear that? He wanted to kill you.
The frontal lobes are partially destroyed, causing the patient to experience bouts of uncontrollable rage. The patient's steel prostheses render him dangerous to those around him.
And that's about your seizures.
Due to the incidence of temporary insanity, the patient is immersed in a surreal psychedelic reality that prevents him from accepting the consequences of his aggressive behavior.
I don't get it. Can you translate for me?
You're not gonna like it.
The patient experiences intense hallucinations. Did you see your wife again, my boy?
How did you know that?
Yet a Voskhod implant will give the patient artificial memories and allow him to overcome his obsession with his deceased wife.
Your wife.
It's all bullshit. I've never been married.
With Voskhod, we can send the agent's consciousness into the imaginary world of limbo via a pulse aimed directly at his pituitary gland, switching the Major into combat mode on command. I'd like to add that I am strongly opposed.
What a load of crap. I mean, there's no fucking way.
I'm afraid there is. Sechenov can send your mind to your own private paradise with a push of a button.
And my body?
Your body will kill whoever he tells it to.
Fucking horseshit. What about the hallucinations? Are they also Sechenov?
No. The hallucinations are just your brain's defense mechanism.
Why the hell should I believe any of this? The boss would never do this to me.
Yeah, right. Just like he'd never wipe your wife's existence from your memory. Just like he'd never design Collective to be a mind control system.
Who said Sechenov did any of that stuff? You can't even tell who's in that chair.
If you don't believe me, go ask him. What's the plan, Major?
He's waiting for us at Chelomey. If we want to stop Sechenov, we'll have to string him along.
So you bring me there as your captive, and then what?
And then we play it by ear.
So that's how it is, Major. Think it over while I try to hack this elevator and get us back to the surface.
Uh-huh. Paying attention now, dickbag?
Major, I have no data about this incident.
Trying to make a monkey out of me, are you? Well, join the club. Don't have any data, huh? You've always known about all this. There's a reason you're called Charless, right? You're Char-a-ton. Zaharov, you son of a bitch. Got an explanation? Huh?
There's nothing to explain, Major. You're just as much a Charless to me as I am a perfect stranger to you. First, Sechenov murdered me. Then he turned me into a blob of polymer goo. Then he brainwashed you and manipulated you. How could I trust either of you? That's why I pretended to be the chatting artificial librarian. I wanted to see who was who.
Yeah, well, I guess I would have done the same. So what are we gonna do now, huh?
What else can we do, Sergei? You and I are friends now, and we know the truth. We need to get to Sechenov, rectify this injustice, and get revenge for what he's done to us.
I guess you're right, Chariton. Justice does need to be done.
You're a good man, Comrade Major. I hate to say this, but you're the first functional example of an ordinary link in the collective network. On Monday, everyone who has undergone polymerization will become just as malleable as you.
Shit, I can't let that happen. Listen, the fucking gadget, the thought device, you can just take it off.
Unfortunately, that won't help anyone. It just makes things worse.
How come?
Because all your thoughts are useless. A polymerized person's signal is transmitted to robots and other equipment via their thought controller. But it is not what makes them a part of collective. The thought device can be removed, but this merely prevents them from being able to make calls and give orders to machines.
So how is Sechenov going to keep everybody under control?
It's the neuropolymer injection that makes people part of collective. It embeds itself in the brain and connects it to the neural network once and for all. The effect of this injection cannot be undone. Everyone who gets an injection will be part of collective forever.
But was I really married? What was my wife's name?
Ekaterina. And you aren't going to like what I'm about to tell you, Comrade Major.
I've heard that before, but I doubt anything could surprise me now.
You and your wife served with the Argentum unit. Ekaterina, or Katya as you called her, was a highly qualified agent. As a child, she studied ballet and
ballet and martial arts.
Just look at me, Comrade Major. After I died, but Sechenov uploaded an imprint of her professional skills into his bodyguard's matrices.
This is... holy shit. Fuck me, this can't be a...
We've got a ride, Major. We can get out of here.
So essentially, he turned his wife into the fucking ballerinas.
Are we leaving, or is there anything else you want to know?
Okay, let's go.
I'm really sorry you had to go through all this.
Oh, shit! Oh, here we go again.
No, not now! Not here!
Damn. Damn.
We are all monsters in the dark, my boy. How many times have we talked about this? Each book from my father's library was nothing but of the knowledge I sought. I've spent my entire life putting those fragments back together, juxtaposing each scientific fact. And once I'd completed the puzzle, I found a book that now prevents me from sharing my knowledge. That book is Human Greed and Human. People have no time to dedicate themselves to science. On the other side of the world, they're busy playing with money. And on this side, they're playing with the power of the masses. Science, shattered to pieces by the husks no one has ever read. None of the social systems that exist now allow humanity to fully evolve. They are all
The fuck was that? A little fuzzball kid? And now this woman's gonna probably be dead in the elevator with him.
Dr. Sechenov just held a press conference in which he completely denied rumors about civilian robots malfunctioning at Facility 3826. The facility is back to full operational capacity, and the red alert will be lifted very soon.
You took a real pounding, didn't you?
Will
You were
be
pretty close to
launched
staying
as
there for
planned.
good.
Where?
You tell me.
How am I supposed to know where you are when you're on the bloody rampage? You were a nice boy when my daughter was around, but ever since she passed away, you do nothing but sulk and fly off the handle at the drop of a hat. Nothing but blood and ripped off heads everywhere. Disgraceful.
What's your daughter got to do with me?
My Katinka. Our Katinka. They played hell with your memory, Sonny.
Lady, what are you talking about?
She was my daughter, but she was your...
Ekaterina Nechaeva, codename Blesna, member of the Argentum Spec Ops squad. So you must be...
Your mother-in-law, you stupid ignoramus. You worked for Sechenov until those Bulgarian terrorists blew you up.
Alrighty then. I'm going to call it here. You folks stay nice and stony. I am out of here. Peace.